Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. How is everybody doing after this weekend? So I actually missed last week because I was teaching a class all week, and but every Monday I've actually been bringing you different information on the evolution of the beauty industry. So for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Lee Rader, and I have actually been in the industry going on 23 years. I've been a master cosmetologist. I'm a former salon owner, and I'm also a national educator. So I have been around long enough to see just all the changes in the industry, and right now we're going through one of the biggest shifts in the industry overall. So mainly I started doing this series just to educate people and bring attention to some things, because I do believe that if you know what's going on, there are ways that you can still thrive in the industry. So sometimes I talk about things and I feel a little bit negative at times, but there's always a solution to everything that I'm talking about. So that's the good thing. But we have to be aware of what's going on to be able to evolve with it. So that's mainly what I do with this series, and I'm really passionate about what I do. I helped write a whole new program that is going to change the industry as far as different programs that we can help salons and spas and beauty professionals with, and education. And we have a whole 4-day institute that they can go to, and we can just really help them bring in more revenue. So that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? So today what I want to talk about is quality control. So this kind of goes back to my first couple of videos in this series. So if you haven't seen them, make sure that you go and watch them. I do put everything on my blog at leerader.com. But I talked about diversion and how that's really affected the industry. And diversion, I remember when diversion first started. And so I have some really interesting facts and just opinions about diversion, because there's a lot of different things going on. So that's a whole another topic that you can go and read about and watch what I found out about that. And then my second video was about the change in distribution. So you have to admit that now with Amazon and eBay, a lot of clients are going to get their products from these retailers. And I don't know about you guys, but if you have been on some of those websites lately, you can see that anybody can sell pretty much anything, right? Hi, Sherry. So that's really concerning. But what's really concerning is I actually posted an article. It was an article the other day, and this is just like recent news that I saw, and it actually was the article. Oh my gosh, it was on a news station. So what the article is about is there was $700,000 worth of fake cosmetics seized by the LAPD in downtown's fashion district. Okay. And the FBI was also involved in this. And what's really interesting about it is they found counterfeit MAC, Urban Decay, NARS, Kylie Jenner products, but they looked exactly the same. Like the packaging was exactly the same as what you would get if you buy from, those cosmetic companies. And they raided over 21 locations. And the reason why they found out about this, well, obviously if there was that many locations, it's kind of relevant, right? I mean, you can see it, but a lot of people were actually calling these companies and complaining that they had bumps and rashes after using their products. Now, if you know anything about cosmetics, they are actually the quality control should be there, right? So obviously these products should not be causing those issues. So they're like, where are you getting these products? Like, why are they causing this kind of issue? And so they have found this out. So the crazy thing about it is, this is really disgusting and yuck, but after testing the cosmetics, they actually found that they contained high levels of bacteria and feces. Yes, high levels of bacteria and feces in the products. Okay, so that is really scary. And you know, the thing about it is, and I posted it and someone had said, yeah, well, if you're going to buy it off the street, then, you know, you should kind of realize that it's not real. But my whole point is, think about all these companies, you know, or not companies, but people that are listing products like this on Amazon and eBay. How do you know they're not getting the products from places like this and then listing it? Because the quality control is just absolutely not there at all. So that's what like really scares me. And even some of the groups I'm in, I see people like listing their palettes and stuff, like the Naked palette. They're like, oh, you know, this is like 50% off or whatever. And people are like, oh my gosh, I want it, I want it. And they're not realizing that, is that product even real? And it looks the same. You know, it looks the same, but when you use it, it's obviously causing issues and problems. Hi everybody, who's all joining me today? I can see people adding, but I can't see what people are saying. So let me know where you're watching from, because I just started into this whole rant. And let me know if you've watched before. And hi Denise, hi Beth. And just let me know, like, if you're a professional or not. If you're a consumer, you know what? This is great information for you too, because you should not be buying cosmetics from somebody that you don't know. You know, buy it from your salon professional for sure. Hi Beth, hi Deborah. Hi Raven, oh, from New York City, I love it. And let me know if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, because I always do try to post this. So, you know what? Educate people. Educate your clients on buying professional products from you, because you don't know what you're getting. Now, and this ties into diversion too. I know a lot of hair care companies. Yes, I'm a salon baby. A lot of hair care companies too, you don't know what you're buying when you're buying it from, you know, secondhand resellers. So make sure you know what you're buying. Now, I'm also going to tell you that there are a lot of makeup artists that maybe necessarily aren't buying the cosmetics from legitimate sources either. So make sure that what you're using on your clients, it's not going to be, you know, dangerous for you to use them. Hi, C. Hi, Emily. So that was scary. So one of the things they suggested is, obviously if something is 50 to 75% off, it's probably counterfeit, right? I mean, let's just all be real with that. And the reason why you do pay more for the real thing is because they do spend a lot of money on quality control. And, you know, that's going to reflect in the price. So obviously some of these counterfeit cosmetics, who knows where they're manufacturing them? Obviously they're manufacturing them in dirty facilities with feces, because if they're finding that in the product, you know, it's coming from somewhere, right? So that was really disturbing to me. So, but it goes beyond that. So let's talk about when you actually buy cosmetics from a legitimate source, okay? So this was actually back in December 2017 that I had saw this article, and it was actually about Claire's. So Claire's is a store that sells like really inexpensive jewelry, and they kind of market to like younger, you know, girls and teens and that kind of thing. And they actually, and this was December 2017, there was an article that said Claire's store took makeup off the shelves that contained asbestos. So they actually found that there was asbestos in the makeup. And if you guys don't know, I'm sure you guys know about asbestos, but it's actually, if swallowed or inhaled, it can lead to lung damage and cancer, including mesothelioma, which is a very aggressive form and deadly form of cancer. So this makeup was being sold in Claire's, and mothers were buying this for their daughters because it was like really inexpensive, and here they're like putting it on their face, and you know, if it's like powders and stuff, they're going to be inhaling it. I mean, they're going to be, you know, getting some of that in their lungs and in their system. And especially like when you look at young kids, I mean, they're getting that exposed to that when they're young, and that just freaked me out. And so Claire stated, and they were actually like quoted in this article, and I'm going to put all this in my blog, so if you want to read a little bit more in depth of what it said, you can. So Claire stated that initial testing found the cosmetics to be asbestos free, but that out of an abundance of caution, they decided to do additional testing. Why? because they actually got a complaint that someone found asbestos in their products. And so a Rhode Island mother actually was the first to report it because she had just learned about the dangers of asbestos in makeup because I don't know, there was something about, she maybe works for some law firm where they actually do litigation for asbestos cases, and she had just learned about the dangers of it and how it can be found in a lot of things yet, even though we know the effects of it. And years ago it used to be used in like a lot of building materials, and then they realized that people were getting sick from it, and so they removed it. And so she actually had it sent to a lab, and they tested it, and they found the asbestos in it. So there were high levels. So then this person who was testing it actually went to 9 different cities in a 2-week period, and she purchased a bunch of cosmetics from Claire's, and there was 17 different products that contained high levels. Now, we're not just talking a little bit, high levels of asbestos in the products, okay? So now Claire's said that they confirmed that the talcum ingredient supply is from an asbestos-free vendor. So they don't know, you know, how it's getting in there, you know, and that kind of thing. But obviously they recalled these products, so hopefully at this point they're not on the shelves anymore. So I was like, gosh, well, I don't understand, like, how is asbestos getting in these products, right? Because I don't know, like, a whole lot about it. So asbestos is actually a commercial name given to a cluster of 6 minerals that actually is contained naturally in the environment. So sometimes when they're using talc in products, it can also contain the asbestos, which is why they normally do test for it. So I was like, oh, that is pretty crazy that it wasn't in there. So I only promote things that I know the quality control is there, and I think as professionals, you should be doing that too. And as consumers, you should be aware of, you know, what could potentially be in your products. And I mean, we could be here all day talking about any kind of beauty products, not just makeup, about, you know, what is contained in there. What are you putting on your body? Yeah, asbestos on your face sounds terrible because you're going to breathe it in if you're using it. And usually the effects of it are not seen until, you know, years down the road. So I actually promote Motives Cosmetics. I have a website that I have Motives Cosmetics on. The quality control that we have with all of our products, I mean, they go through rigorous testing. They're always testing when they get shipments in. And if the quality is not up to par, and we're not just talking about like certain ingredients, but like if something's wrong with the packaging or if there's something wrong with it, they're going to send it back to the manufacturer, because we don't manufacture anything. We only work with top manufacturers to have them manufacture what we want. And so they're not going to accept things that, you know, they don't want or that is not up to our standards. So we have amazing quality control, and that I can sleep at night because I know that I'm not going to hear down the road that, oh, by the way, we found this in your products, because it's just never going to happen. And that's very important. The whole company is very much so about, you know, health and wellness and things like that. So, you know, be aware of what you're putting on your body, because your skin is the largest organ and it will absorb whatever you're putting on it. And you're breathing in whatever you're exposing, you know, yourself to. So think of like these girls putting on this powder. So that's kind of my information for today, and I just want to bring awareness to everybody about it. And don't buy don't buy really cheap things. And if I post, or if you go to my timeline and you see the article, you'll see that the packaging is exactly the same in LA with these products, and I'm sure they're all over the world. I mean, they're making them probably really fast because people are like, oh, I'm gonna get, you know, Kylie Jenner cosmetics because, oh my gosh, it's really cheap. And, you know, people are like, oh, well, if they're buying that, well, no, if they don't know, people don't know. So it's our job to educate them, right? So, all right. So make sure that you share this video and let other people know that this is an issue. And thanks for joining me. Everybody have a really good Monday, and I will see you next Monday at 10 a.m. for my next session. All right, bye.